How we doing, guys? Welcome to DT's Daily. Now on today's show we're going to be talking about Dean Henderson because his loan spell from Manchester United to Sheffield United has been extended for the remainder of the current campaign. We're also going to be talking about Barcelona because they have confirmed the sale of Arthur to Juventus for nearly £80 million. And the last piece of news involves Kieran Tierney and the possibility of him one day becoming the captain of Arsenal.
I represent my fucking self.
How we doing, guys? Welcome to DT's Daily. That's right.
So the first place we're going to start is Sheffield United and Dean Henderson. Now, of course, he's been on loan from Manchester United throughout the course of this season. He's been absolutely brilliant for Sheffield United. And I think this one was a pretty straightforward one, but he has extended his loan spell from Manchester United for the remainder of the current campaign. Sheffield United will be very happy about that, obviously. Hasn't, been as good as what he was before lockdown. You look at the game against Arsenal, for example, and I felt that he was a little at fault for the winning goal with Dani Ceballos. I felt he left that near post open a little bit too much. And there's going to be those questions, at the end of the season as to whether he will return to Manchester United. And now he's got a taste of the Premier League and shown that he can cut it in the Premier League. Will he be pushing to try and take that number one spot from David De Gea? Now, mixed reviews from Manchester United fans. Some are saying it's time for De Gea to move on, 9 years at the club. And if they don't, get this done now, then they could lose the likes of Dean Henderson. And there's some people that are saying that he's not quite ready. Some of the mistakes he's made, even that one that I was mentioning against Arsenal with the near post being left open against Dani Ceballos, is why they don't think he's quite ready. And David De Gea, he has all that experience, but again, he's not covering himself in glory. He's making a lot of mistakes himself. And it's one of those ones. Do you go with the youth and, give him his opportunity now? He's still a young lad. He's 23 years old. So in terms of goalkeeping age, Manchester United could have a goalkeeper for the next 10 plus years on their hands. But like I said, the issue that Manchester United have got now is that because he's got a taste of first team football and he's got a taste of first team football in the Premier League, he's not going to want to go and sit on the bench anywhere. And he's not going to want to keep going out on loan to all these different clubs and not having a settled place, So obviously I think that he will want to succeed at Manchester United, but it's just how long he gives himself. And, the big issue, like I said, will be that he's got a taste of first team football. And because he's had such a great season at Sheffield United, one of the best keepers in the Premier League in terms of his performances, does he really want to sit there, going into next season, stay at Manchester United and spend the whole Premier League campaign on the bench? I don't think he does, because it's more likely that he will go backwards rather than forward. He wants to play first team football. So I don't know what Manchester United are going to do. It's going to be an interesting one how they sort that out. But he's a quality keeper, and Sheffield United will be very, very happy that they've extended his loan spell until the remainder of this current campaign anyway. Next piece of news involves Barcelona and a deal that's not really gone down too well with some of their fans. And it's that Barcelona have confirmed that Arthur is to join Juventus in a £75 million deal later this summer. The Catalan giants say the fee will rise to £82 million after an initial payment of £66 million, and have also confirmed information that he will continue with them until the end of the current campaign. It is understood that the two clubs had agreed a deal for the 23-year-old Brazilian, who had repeatedly stressed he did not want to leave the Nou Camp this summer. The Italian club have been emboldened by Barcelona's openness to selling him after just 2 years at the club due to the necessity to recoup transfer funds for reinvestment this summer, and the hope the player would be attracted to Sarri's desire to build his midfield around him. Arthur was also offered significantly more in salary than at Barcelona, some £4.3 million a year according to Sky in Italy. He flew to Turin on Saturday night just hours after playing as a late sub for Barcelona against Celta Vigo in La Liga. He subsequently underwent medical exams on Sunday and signed a 5-year contract before flying back to Catalonia to resume training on Monday ahead of Barcelona's clash with Atletico Madrid on Tuesday. Arthur will continue playing until August in the latter stages of the Champions League before being unveiled by Juventus ahead of the 2021 campaign. In the opposite direction, the 30-year-old midfielder Miralem Pjanic is expected to join Barcelona in a deal in the region of £60 million. And he also completed medicals with Barcelona doctors in Turin over the weekend. This is a bit of a strange one. And like I said, there's Barcelona fans that are not happy at all. And it was very evident that Arthur didn't want to leave Barcelona. He was very happy. But Barcelona, they are in financial trouble. And the fact that they're swapping, a young lad with all the potential and everything else and a quality player for somebody that's 30 years old with no real resale value or anything else, this is why a lot of Barcelona fans are a little up in arms about it, and they're looking at them saying, hold on a minute, what's going on here? And if you look at some of the comments on social media on the Barcelona social media pages when they announced it, a lot of their fans are not happy at all. And they're a little bit disillusioned by the board. But listen, you imagine being disillusioned by Barcelona and, what goes on there. Imagine being an Arsenal fan and having to put up with the rubbish that we put up with. Barcelona, they fail for one season. Looks like Real Madrid with, La Liga and everything else. And that's enough. You fail once, it's time to rebuild and regroup and do things differently. That's the winning mentality. But yeah, so that transfer's done and dusted. And I'll tell you something, when you look at some of the transfers, in recent weeks, it shows that despite the coronavirus pandemic, there's money about. That's definite. Last piece of news involves Arsenal and Kieran Tierney. And of course, he caught the eye for Arsenal fans in his performance against Sheffield United. But it wasn't just because of his man of the match performance that got people talking. I actually really, really like this. But the Scottish star turned up at Bramall Lane with his kit and a Tesco carrier bag. But his efforts on the pitch were much more than Tesco quality. Yeah, when he turned up, you see players, they all turn up in their Louis bags and Gucci and everything else, those little wash bags that they carry. But he turns up in a Tesco bag for life with all his stuff in. Just like, what? He is the most down-to-earth and humble boy you're probably ever likely to meet. I don't know whether that's because of his upbringing in Scotland. And he's just an ordinary lad, doesn't like all the flash, and the bling and everything else. And I've seen him do interviews where he said he's happy just wearing a all black tracksuit and chilling and being comfortable. And, when you look at him in training, it doesn't matter whether it's minus temperatures, he's wearing shirt and shorts, and he's such a good lad and such a good player, man. Now, what this report goes on to talk about is something that's being discussed with quite a few Arsenal fans. And that is whether he is the future captain of Arsenal Football Club. Now, if you remember, he's been captain at Celtic. He's been captain of Scotland. He's only 23 years old. The only reason why he's gone back a little bit is because of the injuries that he had. And then the emergence of the likes of Robertson at Liverpool. It's kind of knocked him back a little bit. But if he's at Arsenal and he can get performances in, he can get himself back up to those levels again. But that question that is being raised is whether Kieran Tierney could well be the future Arsenal captain. Aubameyang is the current captain, and you don't know whether he's even going to be here for much longer. There's talk about Granit Xhaka maybe getting the captaincy back, but how will that sit amongst some fans? How will it sit amongst the Arsenal hierarchy, given, you know, what happened with him in the first place and how he lost the captaincy originally? Or will they look to someone like Kieran Tierney and say, you know what, this is a lad that can be part of the team for years to come, and it's ideal to get somebody that's a regular mainstay defender that will know everything it is to know about being a captain. And the fact that he's been captain for his country, and the fact that he's been captain of Celtic, you know, bodes well. So it wouldn't be his first job as a captain. And, you know, you look at that and you do think to yourself, yeah, he's got all the credentials to be one. He's so hard-working. His attitude off the pitch is just as important as what it is on the pitch. And that's such a big thing with footballers now. You can have all the ability in the world, but if your attitude is wrong off the pitch, then it's very difficult. Prime example, Guendouzi. Got so much talent on the pitch, but off the pitch, there seems to be some question marks about his attitude. But Kieran Tierney, absolutely no questions about his attitude. Mikel Arteta was recently saying as well how impressed he is, you know, with Tierney, and he can't wait to start working alongside him. And when he puts in performances like he did against Sheffield United, it only raises his profile even more, and it only starts raising the questions. And of course, if Aubameyang does leave in the summer, then we're going to need a new captain. And is he somebody that's going to be at the forefront, ready to take that armband on and give a bit of pride back to the captaincy of Arsenal Football Club? Give a bit of pride back to the armband. It's been passed from pillar to post too much over the years. We haven't had real captains since the days of Henry and, you know, Vieira, Tony Adams, etc. We haven't had real captains since them days. We had to deal with the likes of William Gallas as a captain and stuff. But yeah, we need a proper leader. And he fits the bill. For me anyway, I think that he would be a perfect captain for Arsenal. I don't know what you think. So there we go. That is it for today's DT's Daily. Most definitely let me know in the comment section what you think about that topic there with Kieran Tierney. Do you think that he could be the captain of Arsenal Football Club? If Aubameyang leaves in the summer, do you think he should be taking over for next season? Is that where we need to be looking right now? And if not, who would you give the captaincy to? Would you give it back to Granit Xhaka maybe? It's an interesting one, and no doubt there will be some debate over it, that's for sure. But yeah, listen, there's going to be a load of stuff coming out later today. We've got the preview to tomorrow's game against Norwich. Tomorrow's DT's Daily, we're going to be looking back over the Premier League game, which is this evening. There's a whole host of games tomorrow, which will be in, you know, Thursday's daily show along with player ratings. I'm also going to be on AFTV, of course, for the watch along during the game. And you know what? It's a chance for us to move up a little bit, because if we beat Norwich at the Emirates, then we do actually climb above Sheffield United and Spurs, because, you know, coincidentally, they actually play each other at Bramall Lane on Thursday. So it's a chance to, you know, get out of ninth place at least and put a bit of pressure on, you know, either one of them or both. So yeah, we'll wait and see. Listen, if you're new around here, make sure you do hit that subscribe button. Make sure you smash a like on this video. And I will see you lot tomorrow. I'm out of here.